Hey, YouTube, what's up? You know, I just want to thank everybody for all your comments, all your thumbs up. As of today, I got 181 views, 39 thumbs up, and 67 comments. And it's been up for 2 days. That's amazing. I want to thank all you guys for responding. So, today, I'm smoking some Highland Cigar Black Gold in my hardwood cob. Anyway, this is chapter 1, What is a Pipe? It's the video of the Weber's Guide. By the way, I'm going to have a playlist that all these videos go on. So it's a good time to smoke a pipe, put your earplugs in or something, and just listen to what's going on. This is the book, Weber's Guide to Pipes and Pipe Smoking. I showed a couple of pipes in my first video. If you haven't seen the first one, check out the first one. It's the foreword to this book. So let's get going. What is a pipe? A pipe is nothing more than a bowl to hold burning tobacco and a tube through which the smoke may be drawn into the mouth. But this seemingly simple device is a result of a surprising amount of skill, industry, and science. In 1,000 years of smoking, the Indians of North and South America evolved only crude, clumsy pipes, fashioned of coarse pottery or stone. The modern pipe, on the other hand, is a creation of European craftsmen who brought their art to perfection over the period of more than 4 centuries. The 5 basic parts of the pipe are: 1. The bowl, in which the tobacco is burned. 2. The shank, usually the part of the bowl. 3. The stem, commonly made of vulcanite, a form of hard rubber, which fits tightly into the shank. 4. The lip, a slight flange on the mouthpiece end of the stem. And 5. The filter, generally of metal, which we call stingers today, and attached to the stem. Now keep in mind, this was printed in '63, I believe, and then redone in copyright '63 and then rewritten in '73. When the pipe is assembled, the smoke travels from the bottom of the bowl through the shank, around the filter, through the stem, and into the mouth. The lip prevents the stem from slipping between the smoker's teeth. Each one of these parts helps determine the quality of the smoke entering the smoker's mouth. Their design displays the end result of years of trial and error, of luck and experiment. Fashioning a pipe by hand is a delicate operation. The briar or other pipe material must be carefully chosen. The bowl must be carved and hollowed out, the stem bored and fitted. Many ancient or primitive peoples found that making a pipe called for a great deal of effort, and they valued their pipes accordingly. Now it has the pictures here, the parts of the pipe. You got the chamber, the air hole, the bowl, the shank, the mortise, the ferrule, the filter, the tenon, the stem, the air hole, the lip, and the bit. There's the drawing of it. Now we're down to the parts of the pipe. Makeshift pipes were contrived from whatever substance happened to be available in the Orient, or Chinese created pipes from hollow bamboo. The Indians of Nova Scotia made pipes from hollowed out lobster claws, drawing the smoke through the hole pierced in the claw's narrow end. In Asia and Africa, earth smoking was a common practice according to this technique. A pit dug into the soil served as the pipe bowl, and a hollow reed driven into the bottom of the pit as the stem Primitive pipes were widely used by the Mayas of Central America more than 1,000 years ago. The Mayas also had tobacco, a plant native only to the Americas. Stone carvings found on Mayan ruins actually portray priests blowing smoke as part of a religious ritual. Their pipe was no more than a straight, tapering tube with the tobacco at its wide end and its narrow end lodged into the priest's mouth. The Mayas probably passed on their smoking habits to the Aztecs of Mexico, who had tubular pipes made of silver, wood, bone, reed, pottery, and tortoise shell. The straight tube pipe had a major disadvantage. However, in that tobacco could easily fall out of the tube if the smoker failed to hold his end up. Even eventually, pipe makers began bending the tube, the tobacco holding end of the tube upward until the pipe evolved into a bowl with an attached stem. Pipes with small bowls were popular among the early European sailors returning from colonial America. The North American Indians smoked one such pipe, the famous calumet, C-A-L-U-M-E-T, or peace pipe, consisting of a long stem made of ash wood and a pipe stone bowl. The Indians decorated the calumet pipe with carvings, horsehair, and bird feathers. To the Indians, the mysteries of tobacco smoke and fire reflected the supernatural powers of the sun, which they worshipped. Nicotiana tabacum and Nicotana rustica, the two plants from which to obtain our modern tobacco leaves, were present in both North and South America centuries before the discovery of the New World. The plants grew sparsely. However, their rare leaves were regarded by the Indians of North America as a gift from the gods. These Indians often economized their tobacco by blending it with sumac leaves, S-U-M-A-C, leaves, the bark of the dogwood tree, the inner bark of the willow, and the leaves of the bark of several other shrubs. Years ago, pure tobacco, taken so much for granted today, was a luxury not only to the Indians but to the Europeans as well. In Britain, henbane or moss was often used to adulterate the tobacco in far-off Tibet. Wild rhubarb root was mixed with it. But the practice of smoking was never limited by the availability of tobacco. Hundreds of years before America and the tobacco plant were known to exist, people in many other parts of the world gained pleasure from smoking various kinds of herbs. The Congo pygmies, for example, were accustomed to smoking a concoction of charcoal and smoldering leaves using a 3-foot length of bamboo cane as a pipe. Smoking may have been practiced more than 2,000 years ago, according to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus. He describes tribesmen in Asia Minor who have a tree which bears the strangest produce. When they were met together in companies, they throw some of it upon the fire round which they are sitting, and presently, by the mere smell of the fumes which it gives out in burning, they grow drunk, as the Greeks do with wine. More of the fruit is then thrown on the fire, and their drunkenness increasing, they often jump up and begin to dance and sing such is the account which I have heard as these people. The fruit referred to by Herodotus, Herodotus, was supposed to have been hemp. Okay, that's not all of chapter 1, but I'm going to stop there. This gets into some really good chapters. Me, I considered that one kind of boring, but in the next couple pages, it gets into types of tobacco. But the next reading will be Tobacco is Discovered in the New World. And let's see. There's only like a couple, 3, 4 more pages until chapter 2. So we'll stop there, and we'll continue on page 15. Tobacco is discovered in the New World. Thanks, YouTube. Bye now. Oh, and by the way, I am going to continue reading this book, so I'd appreciate everybody's comment and what they got about it, but it's not a must. Everybody did exactly what I wanted them to do, and they went out of their way to comment and leave a thumbs up, and that told me that you wanted to read it. So if you comment, that'll be great. That way I know people are following, but if you don't comment, I could tell by the views and the thumbs up, or vice versa, that people are watching. So this book does get very, very interesting. It gets into the shapes, the types, the hobby itself. It shows a lot of pictures in here, how pipes are made, selecting your tobacco, selecting a pipe, and it shows a lot of pictures of pipes, pipe varieties. Shows it quite a bit. The Briar and the Meerschaum, King and Queen of Pipes. So we'll continue on page 15 on the next video. Bye now.